Okay, so welcome everyone. Nice to have you here. Also welcome to everyone who listens to this later online. So today we have a question from one of the students. Is it Shanti? Yeah? Nice name, very nice. Shanti. Alright, so Shanti asks, I've been concerned about the safety of my family and friends who don't live in large cities in my country. When leadership incites hatred, I become nervous. I'm nervous because as a child, I'm old enough to remember what my small town looked like when people in power advocated hate. It seems people we thought had become extinct have re-emerged. I'm exhausted. I'm tired of loving those that seek to hurt me, but can't bring myself to become what they are. And I think I forgot to print out a part of the question where is asking about whether love is really more powerful than hate. So that's the topic of today's talk. Is love really more powerful than hate? Good, so first of all, when we are concerned and there's a general sense of unease about a certain situation or ourselves, then the first step would always be to just see it as it is, to receive the way it is. And see, there is a concern, and being concerned is like this, feels like this. See if you can come into the body and acknowledge that there is concern. See if you can go a little bit beyond the thinking and just feel the sense of concern in your body. Where do you feel it? Do you feel it in your throat? Do you feel it in your heart? In the belly? In the head? Where is it? Where's it kind of the physical location of the concern? And then allow it to just be there for a little while. Rest with it. Almost like when a friend comes to visit you, then also not the first instinct is to kick your friend out of the house. But you allow the friend in and you maybe serve a cup of tea. You offer a seat. So I think the crucial part of the practice is to really get to know yourself and to make friends with yourself. To receive yourself with friendliness, just the way you are. Really, I observe quite often that many people, including myself, are trying to be superhuman, trying not to be concerned. I think that is really the issue. That we are trying not to be like the way we are. Like, I shouldn't have concerns. As somebody that is on a spiritual path for a while, I have that very intensely, I must say. I kind of sense that I'm a spiritual person, so I should not feel like anger and hate, and I should not feel all these things that I do feel. Like, for example, hearing the sound outside of the car and getting upset about it, feeling angry about it. Gosh, when do they leave? They're still there. Why do they let the engine run so long? Upsets, it annoys, right? And there's this sense of tensing up, discomfort inside, and it's there. And it's not about getting rid of it, actually. It's about giving it space. And if I observe myself, then what I do, around the discomfort is it's almost like my grip around it tightens. I'm imprisoning it in my grip. I'm holding on to it, quite literally, with my mental, emotional being. I'm closing around it. I'm imprisoning the issue. And that only makes it grow. It makes it so much more unbearable. Because it has so little space, that issue, that concern, that feeling of pain that we have as a human being, we all have. It's kind of imprisoned in our emotional stress. In that, you can say, like Eckhart Tolle, he sometimes mentions, he says, we have this big no towards the present moment. We say no to the present moment, to the way it is. We say no. And it starts within ourselves. We say no to the way we are. We might not actually say no in our heads, but it's this sense of feeling that it should not be like that. I should not be like that. I should be different. And when that is predominant within a human being, this sense of resisting oneself, resisting one's human nature, then we carry it out into the world. No, the world should not be like this. People should not be like this. Presidents should not be like this. So we become intolerant, unable to host the way it is, unable to host truth. And that's, I think, the number one reason why the world is like this, is that beings are in the habit of saying no to the way it is. And everyone has their no. Lots of no's in the world towards this present moment. We're not friends with the way it is. We're not able to receive it, host it, relax around it, give it space. The opinions of other people are unable to host them. So we argue with them, we fight. The viewpoints, the perceptions of other people, we're unable to take it. So we fight them. Even sometimes kill them. Why? Because we do precisely the same within ourselves, to ourselves. We're at war with ourselves, the way we feel, the way we are as a human being. No, I should not feel like that. And it can get really, really bad for some people on a spiritual path. So they become really self-critical concerning emotions and so forth. When leadership incites hatred, I become nervous. That's one more nervous person in the world. So instead of expressing our nervousness, and instead of suppressing it, which are both of the ways that really don't work as we see with human history, right? It's been going on like this for millennia. Same thing all over the world. We're just a small speck in history. And it's the same as it always has been. People in power, they do what they do. They want more power. They control the world based from this idea of, or you can say based on ignorance. If it is not a spiritually awakened leader, then the results of such leadership are never really 100% good. And even if it is a spiritually awakened leader, things are difficult because the world is not filled with spiritually awakened people. And so the world spins the way it spins. There's nothing much we can do about it. The only solution would be people getting in touch with their joyful nature again, coming back home to who they really are, to see who they really are inside, find their center and relax. But that's not the case, right? People don't want to relax. They want to fight. They want to argue. They want to, because this sense that once I fight the problem, then I can relax. Once I finish my 8-hour work day, then I can relax. Once I finish 5 months of working and saving money, then I can relax in holidays. You see, it's everywhere. Once I got that new TV, then I can relax. Then I can relax. Fill in the blank. Once I become enlightened, once I get into more peaceful levels of meditation, once I get all the spiritual goods, then it doesn't work like that. At some point, we're going to have to learn to make friends with the way it is. There is suffering. There is stress. Where is it? It's in my heart. What's the cause of stress? Why is there stress? It's resistance. Fighting the way it is. Being in conflict with truth. The world is like this. I am like this. The conditioned mind is like this. And for all of us, that helps us to understand why the world is like this. So if you look at ourselves, then we understand why it is like this. Why people go to war. Why they are angry at each other. We understand. It just only takes looking at yourself, actually. And you see, I'm a human being. There are other human beings around me. And human beings feel human feelings. And they think human thoughts. And that's that. It's always been like that. And it will always be like that. So you want peace, right? I think most people want peace. They want to feel good. They want to feel happy and joyful. There's an Indian sage. I think he lived somewhere in the 13th or 16th century. I'm not sure. Doesn't matter much. His name is Shantideva. Shantideva, he wrote a very famous text on the conduct of an aspirant, someone who becomes enlightened. And he writes there, in one of the verses, he writes, "You cannot cover the entire world in leather so that you are not stepping into thorns. But you can cover your own feet, and it has the same effect." Does that make sense? Pretty wise. Right? But we're precisely busy trying to cover the world with leather so that we do not have to step into thorns. Let's fix the president. Let's fix those who vote for the president. And the other guys, they think, let's fix those who do not vote for that president. Let's set them straight. Everyone sees the mistake somewhere outside. The problem, why I suffer, it's outside there. It's because there's not enough leather yet around the world. But let me keep working at it. And one day, that's the happy ever after scheme, one day, when there is enough leather around the world, I can finally retire. So let's fix all these people. Let's fix other countries. Let's fight drugs. Let's fight hunger. Let's fight poverty. Let's fight the government. So that way the fighting doesn't stop. The anxiety doesn't stop like that. The Buddha, I think he said that hatred doesn't cease through hatred, but through love. That is an eternal law. And love doesn't mean you go around and you have to like everyone. And you have to give chocolate to everyone. Oh God, I have to now give chocolate to Donald Trump. That's going to be a bit difficult. Huh? First of all, I have to reach him, and then I have to, first of all, give chocolate to all of his security guards around him, and then I can finally reach him and then give him some chocolate. Will it make the world a better place? No. So many people are allergic to chocolate. You have diabetics, right? People with trouble. It doesn't fix it. Being kind of doing the right thing to others, it doesn't really work. Loving kindness is a form of acceptance. Just giving a friendly space to the way it is, to the way someone is. It's very healing. It's what people appreciate in you when you really listen to them. Sometimes you have your trouble, right? You visit a good friend. Why? Because that good friend is such a good listener. And he can let you talk for an hour, really listening to you, not giving any clever advice, just receiving you the way you are, just allowing you to vent. That is kind. That is enjoyable. No threat. There's nobody there that needs to fix you. You can relax. That's the reason why we like it so much when we close the door and we're alone. There's nobody around us to bother us, to tell us what to do. When I was a young boy, I really loved it. When my parents left the house and I was in control of the whole house, like for a day or two, you know. And we called it, in Germany the word is to have a place with free from storm. Sturmfreie Bude. To all the German listeners, Sturmfreie Bude. It means to have a place without storm, free from storm. There's no parent storm around you. That means there's nobody controlling you. And we enjoy that. We love that. To be just, now I can just totally be myself. That's the reason why we like to sing when we're alone in the car. But when your friend is with you, you don't do that. Unless you're really good friends. But if it's just some stranger that just comes into the car, you don't sing. You don't dance like crazy. You're not forgetting yourself. Because you're always on guard. You need to perform. You always need to be a someone. It's stressful to be a someone. It's painful to be a someone. And so real kindness is that space that allows the someone to melt away. So all that's left is that kindness. Kind presence, you can call it if you like. Kind presence. That's what heals the world. The more people are dwelling in kind presence, the more ease there is in the world. Imagine all the terrorists in the world, all of a sudden they feel like, oh, hey, let's not go around and bomb everyone, but let's practice kind presence. It would immediately change the picture. Even if Trump would advocate that, suddenly step on the microphone and says, guys, I've been just fooling you for the whole voting period. I've been just making jokes all the time, and now it's time for serious business. I'd like every single citizen of the United States to become proficient in kindness. Starting today, let's get all together and be kind and cultivate kindness, cultivate presence, cultivate awareness. Solves all the problems immediately. So can we expect that? Should we wait for others to do it? Like wait for Trump to become kind? Or try to kind of criticize him so long until he sees his mistakes and then he finally decides to become a kind person? No, it doesn't work like that. You can't criticize someone into kindness. It's never worked. You can bully someone into kindness. You can fight others into kindness, righteousness, compassion. You can only host these great emotions or these great, wise, skillful states within your own heart. That's as good as it gets. And then you share that with other people around you, and it grows through your presence. People around you do not have to be scared anymore because they're not judged. They don't have to hold up their persona anymore. They can just go around you, relax. They don't have to perform for you so that you hopefully love them in return, so they can relax. So that's, I think, as good as it gets. We can make our own presence, we can shape it in such a way that beings lose their fear around us. Because they see, oh, a human being. So I can be human here too. I don't have to be special. I don't have to Photoshop myself. I don't have to put a filter on my Instagram pictures. No need to do it, because you know you're loved the way you are. No filter needed. Why are filters so popular? Why is it so popular to distort reality, to display something that's not really true? Because we want to be loved. And everybody is part of the game, including Trump. There's this desperate scream for love, this yearning for appreciation, for attention. And if that attention is not given when we are young, then some people, they develop these kind of vicious ways of getting it. They become very loud, very noisy, so they get the attention that way. It's human nature. We crave attention, we crave love, kindness. We want other people to see us with friendly eyes. All of us. So instead of seeing a person as an enemy, make friends with yourself. Then you will have a nice time, an easier time to see the friend in another person too. And finally you can see, well, we're all just human beings on this little tiny planet, in this vast, infinite space. Alive for snap of a finger, less. Making a huge drama out of it. We need this perspective. See, zoom out a little bit. See, it's not that big of a deal. Not such a big problem. It's been like this for all the time. Another reason for compassion and kindness. And that will eliminate all nervousness and anxiety automatically. So to summarize it again, compassion and kindness is nothing you create. It is something at the nature of your being. And it arises from hosting and allowing this present moment to be exactly the way it is, to relax around it, soften around it. To not confront this present moment with tension and resistance, but to soften around it, to open up to it, to allow it to be, to give it a right to exist, a right to breathe. And in that space, everything finds balance. Your body finds balance, your mind finds balance, your emotions find balance. It all figures out what it figures out. That's what the body does and what the mind does. Just leave it alone. Watch. Concerning the question, is love really more powerful than hate? They are equally powerful. Love is just as powerful as hate. They're both a potential energy. I think they're differing only in the outcome, the result. The result of hate is suffering, pain, misery. The result of love is happiness, joy, relaxation. And which power you nourish, that's, I think, important. Yes, very, very important. If you want things around you to be nice and enjoyable, then you nourish love. And you nourish your love by diverting your attention away from hate to love. Make it a habit. And you starve hate like this also. Maybe you've heard this kind of a little bit of a cheesy sort of I think it's a story from the Apache or something like this. You have this, it goes around on Facebook sometimes. You have these two wolves, a black wolf and a white wolf. And let's, just for the sake of having fun, let's call the white wolf the bad one and the black wolf the good one. Okay, and they're both having a war. So the black wolf, the good guy, he stands for love, kindness, compassion, and so forth. And the white wolf, he stands for all this corruption, greed, trouble, hate, ignorance, okay? And these two wolves are fighting. Which one wins? As you might know the answer already. The answer is pretty simple, isn't it? The one you feed. How do you feed a wolf? Pay attention to it. Open up. Allow it to be the way it is. See it. That's how you nourish something. Dwell on it with your attention. Give it energy like this. Where does our attention dwell most of the time? That's what you feed. Collectively too. A whole country's attention is on Trump. And in my opinion, that's why he won. The whole attention went to him. He was the guy that created outrageous media appearance and all that kind of stuff. All the attention went to him. That's why he won. Is it good, is it bad that he won? Who knows? Maybe it's great. Maybe it's bad. Maybe sometime it's good, sometime it's bad. We don't know, right? Can be anything. Let's just wait and see. So all we can do is nourish this world with kindness, love, and that will heal, that will help. Everything else doesn't help, it just adds to the mess. Okay. That's pretty much all that comes to mind for now. Thank you very much.